On July 5, 2021, Jeff Bezos surprised the entire world when he officially stepped down from Amazon, no longer its CEO. Armed with a net worth of $213 billion, Bezos retired 7 years younger and 172,000 times richer than the average American retiree. Fast forward to today, I must admit I'm very curious about what he's spent his billions on in the past year and what new crazy things he's been up to since leaving Amazon. Let's find out. A costly divorce. Strange as it may seem, Bezos' first major expense after retirement was his divorce from his wife Mackenzie. It happened very quickly. The day after Bezos' official resignation, the official divorce statement was released and Mackenzie Bezos, the woman he had been with for nearly 25 years, definitively left him. The reasons for the divorce were not disclosed, but there were rumors that the Amazon billionaire had found another woman, a rumor that was later confirmed when he was spotted several times with Lauren Sanchez, a former television host turned helicopter pilot. However, that's none of my business. I'm more interested in the divorce settlement and the amount Mackenzie received. And wow, it was a substantial sum. Jeff Bezos started Amazon after getting married, and since they hadn't entered into a prenuptial agreement, by law, Mackenzie was entitled to 50% of the company. This would have instantly made her the richest woman in the world, with a net worth of $56 billion. However, that's not how it went down. The agreement reached gave her 25% of Jeff's shares, which is 4% of the company. This 4% amounted to about 20 million Amazon shares, making Mackenzie $38 billion richer and the third richest woman in the world. It certainly lightened Bezos' pockets, knocking him down from his $200 billion status and paving the way for Elon Musk to surpass him as the richest man. Bezos, a lover of both super yachts and much smaller yachts. Everyone knows that super yachts are the aquatic soul of billionaires. Most of them own or actively charter yachts for personal use, to the point that one might think these billionaires consider themselves modern-day Jack Sparrows. And Jeff Bezos is no exception. In fact, his love for yachts is so great that, after retirement and losing a fraction of his wealth to his ex-wife, he still managed to dip his hands into his deep pockets. Currently, the Amazon chief is spending George Clooney's entire net worth on a yacht. These are the things future billionaires do for love. Now, more seriously, I found it a bit odd that a 417-foot yacht would need another yacht for helicopter landings when ships not even half its size could comfortably accommodate 2 helipads. So I did some research and found out that this had to do with Bezos' arrogance and everything to do with the elaborate, probably unnecessary, design that his super yacht would have upon completion. Anyone trying to land a helicopter on that yacht would have to contend with those 3 gigantic sails. And that, my friend, is a recipe for disaster. On the other hand, those same gigantic sails are also the reason why the ship has been indefinitely delayed. They're just so tall. Bezos is still spending money every day, but that hasn't stopped the man from once again dipping his hands into his deep pockets to spend, once again, George Clooney's entire net worth on a completely different hobby post-retirement, a $578 million real estate portfolio. The only thing Bezos loves more than yachts is land and properties. Many billionaires do, and in this regard, Bezos is a man of taste. Unlike his counterpart Elon Musk, who doesn't mind sleeping in a $50,000 folding house, Bezos has been purchasing expensive properties since 1998, when Amazon was still a young company. Bezos paid $10 million for a 20,600 square foot house with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms on a 5.3-acre estate in Medina, Seattle, near the then richest man's residence in the world, Bill Gates. In 2005, with Amazon's success skyrocketing, Bezos spent another $50 million on a neighboring 8,300 square foot residence with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. The combined properties had an impressive 310-foot shoreline. Since then, Bezos has continued to spend tens of millions on properties and land across America. At the height of the pandemic, he purchased a $16 million condo on the 20th floor of 212 Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. Prior to this purchase, he had already bought floors 21 through 24 of the same building for a total of $80 million. In Washington, he paid $23 million for a former textile museum in the Colorama district. Then in January 2020, he purchased a 4,800 square foot home across the street from that museum for $5 million, solely for privacy reasons. However, in 2021, after his retirement, Bezos bought a $23 million unit in a historic building where he had already spent $96 million on 4 separate homes. Then, in an unmistakable boss move, Bezos took inspiration from Bruce Wayne when he acquired Maui, Hawaii's most expensive property, for $78 million. Instead of paying for this very expensive property, Bezos acquired the company that owned the land. The property was never publicly listed, so there is little information online, but we know it spans a huge 14-acre area and includes several features, including a 4,500 square foot main house and a 1,700 square foot guest house, built in traditional Hawaiian style. Jeff Bezos versus Elon Musk. Watching two billionaires spar must be one of the most entertaining things to witness, especially when they decide to outdo each other with their incredible wealth. At the moment, it seems to be the case between Jeff Bezos and his eccentric counterpart Elon Musk. Indeed, eccentric billionaire Elon Musk has been accusing Bezos since 2017 of copying him, after the latter spent $1.3 billion to acquire an electric autonomous driving company seemingly out of the blue. At the time, no one knew Jeff Bezos for building electric cars, as that was Elon Musk's specialty. Musk is the undisputed EV billionaire and also the billionaire behind SpaceX, which is why it's easy to sympathize with Musk when just a couple of days after his retirement, Bezos spent $5.5 billion on his own aerospace company, Blue Origin, to spend 4 minutes in space. But was Bezos really copying Musk? Not exactly. Blue Origin has been around since 2000, a little longer than SpaceX, founded 2 years later. However, while Bezos was busy with everything else, Musk redefined space travel in 2017. Bezos must have felt the pressure to stay relevant in the space industry, as he announced plans to sell $1 billion worth of Amazon shares every year to fund his space ambitions. We can confirm that Bezos sold Amazon shares in 2021, alone worth $2 billion. However, there is no way to confirm if he invested them in Blue Origin. But wait a minute, consider this. Blue Origin has not been profitable since its inception, yet it still operates today. So it's safe to say that Bezos might have invested those billions as promised. So maybe Bezos isn't really copying Musk, perhaps he's just doing his thing. The mountain clock, one of the most ridiculously expensive yet strangely economical luxury items one can find on the market, must be wristwatches. For a device that primarily serves to tell time, watches can be the most unusually expensive objects on the market. Brands like Rolex or Patek Philippe can cost millions of dollars and are often unmistakable signs of extreme wealth. Well, that's not entirely true, because Jeff Bezos and many other high-level billionaires, including Zuckerberg, Gates, and Elon Musk, wear significantly cheaper watches or even nothing at all. After his retirement, Bezos has been seen only with a $12,000 watch, an Ulysses Nardin dual time. For you, it might seem like a considerable sum, but for Bezos at this point, I don't think I need to tell you how much that's worth. Now, what Bezos hasn't spent on watches, he recently made up for with an incredible project still under construction: the $42 million Mountain Clock project. Bezos first conceived the idea of a gigantic clock to be built inside a mountain in 2018. Since then, he has tasked his engineers and contractors with constructing a massive multi-room clock inside a mountain in West Texas. But what makes this clock special, and why does it cost $42 million? On one hand, it's a massive 500-foot tall clock, and most things of that size tend to cost quite a bit. On the other hand, this clock will be mechanically powered by day-night thermal cycles and synchronized to solar noon. The clock is designed to tick only once a year and chime only once every 1,000 years. Basically, Jeff Bezos is building a clock that will tell time for the next 10,000 years and has defended this expensive, bizarre project by explaining that the clock will serve as a reminder to people that the distant future not only exists, but will happen to their descendants. At the moment, it's unclear when the project will be completed or when the clock will be operational. For an essentially immortal timekeeper, I bet it will take a long time. And given that Bezos doesn't seem to be going bankrupt anytime soon, that $42 million budget might double or triple if the project is delayed beyond the expected production time. And another thing, if you're thinking of seeing the clock when it's done, you might be out of luck, because the billionaire is building it on his land in a remote location in Texas, for reasons known to him. If you were impressed by this video, we recommend checking out the videos you see here on the screen. Thank you for sticking around, and remember to subscribe to the channel.